Welcome to ATV Africa, Nigeria #1 internet radio and web TV on education. I remain your regular host, Abifab, on trending educational news for week 16, 21st of April 2025. Bible lesson, the first says, Rivers State Vice Chancellor warns students against using money for gambling, school fees in particular. That's a good one. And the next one says, Mommy raised 4 kids alone after we lost our dad at age of 12. The UI brothers say this after graduating as best graduating student from the University of Ibadan. We have Matthew Busoye, one of the twins who graduated with first class at the University of Ibadan, shared this experience with AirTV Africa. The Federal University of FUOYE, the Vice Chancellor, granted 6-month leave. The controversial Vice Chancellor of the Federal University of FUOYE, Professor Abayomi Fashina, has been granted 6-month leave and is to resume back after the 6 months. Yeah, the next one says JAMB warn institution against illegal admission. And then the next on my list is LASUTECH fire 3 lecturers over sexual harassment. That's a bad one. Followed by LAUTECH Defends Awarding 94 first-class degree students. Thank you, dear viewers. I have a guest in the house. He's a well-known educationalist, a proprietor, and influent educationalist. So sit tight, and I'll be right back.
Abifab College of Innovation and Content Creation offers 6 months and 12 months training into content creating, internet radio, sound engineering and music production, film and video editing, and OAP and cinematography. For more detail chat 080231295999.
Welcome back. My guest today is no other person than Victor Ogumekon. He's rightly with me here, and he will also assist me in dissecting this bulletin we have for today, week 16. You're welcome, Victor.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the privilege of being here.
Thank you.
And then I believe that by the special grace of God, the education system in Nigeria is going to go to where we all desire it to be.
Thank you.
Because we believe that education will promote the economy of our nation. Thank you for having me, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome. Viewers, that is Victor Ogumekon. He's a proprietor, a school owner in the year in Ikorodu. Now, the first thing we have on our bullet said the Vice Chancellor of Rivers State University advising students not to use school fees for gambling. And when I saw it, I said, does that need to be, do they need to be advised? How can you take your school fees and go and do gambling?
Yeah, I think that is coming from a fatherly perspective.
Okay.
Because we see teachers as not just teachers in the profession,
Okay.
but we are fathers to our learners. And then honestly, they need to be advised. And I believe the advice is coming from the trend of what is happening in our world today. If we assume that everybody knows what to do, we might end up looking away. So the advice is coming from the place of the realities that we are seeing in our society today. And I will say kudos to the Vice Chancellor for that counsel.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of distractions today, too many shortcuts. And I believe that gambling is seen as one of those shortcuts that our youth of today want to actually engage in. Rather than going through the process of knowing, growing, developing, and establishing yourself. Everybody wants to grow from the place of unknown to the place of establishment, which is why we are seeing a lot of young people going into gambling. And kudos to the VC for that fatherly counsel.
Okay, thank you. The next one, the best graduating student from UI says something that is everybody that they almost shedding tears. That they lost their father when they were 12 and they were 4 from the family, and they graduated as best graduating students. So appreciating their mom before the whole world. What do you see to these twins?
Yeah, for me, I think the twins are children who acknowledge, they acknowledge the effort of their mother,
Yes.
and they express their gratitude.
Yes.
And we have relationships where the father and the mothers will be together, and yet it's still going to be, unsuccessful. The children might be unsuccessful at the end of the day. And then this is now a situation whereby a responsibility of 2 persons have been crowned by 1 person. To the mother, it is a worthy, recognition by the children. It's a worthy recognition. And at the same time, I'll use this medium to encourage every father who is alive today, and probably they are separated with the mother of the children. They should please, be part of the children. because it is not easy for one to actually take those responsibilities. And I've always said it, we should stop this transactional parenting where we say we want to train our children because when they grow old, they will come back and train us. Of course, it is their duty. In fact, you don't need to tell your child if you have actually trained the children very well, because I believe that whether we like it or not, if we have taught our children how to actually take care of old people, they will end up taking care of us. But we shouldn't make it as a condition for us to take care of our children. Don't make it like I want to train these children
For
because
you
I
to
want
come
them.
back to take care of me
No,
when I
that's
grow old,
transactional parenting.
which is not the best.
It's not the best. So I'm looking towards a situation whereby whether you are together with the father or the mother, come together and co-parent. And I must say that this mother actually requires or deserves the crown of motherhood,
Seriously,
standing by the
seriously.
children.
The four
Because
of them.
yes, some
And
parents,
coming out with first class.
yes, some mothers would
in
have
engineering.
gone to even remarry or
Marry
do
and
some
abandon the
other.
children.
Yes,
So many is happening.
yes. So kudos to the mother and
Yes,
kudos to
seriously.
the children for acknowledging the efforts of
Mhm.
the mother.
Yeah, viewers, we say kudos to the twins, the best graduating students at the last graduation at University of Ibadan. You did a wonderful one, surprising your mom and surprising the whole world. Also to your mom, and you said to your late father also, because when he was there with you, he was a good father.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, the next I have here, Mr. Ogunbekun, and his student loan. Is when I read this, so funny. Can federal government pay money to school account for student loan, and the school is keeping the money, keeping the fund, and not upgrading the status of payment of this student? When I heard that, I say, is it possible? Is the level of corruption so high to that extent? What's your view?
My view is that this is just an indication of the type of focus that we have actually been focusing in education in Nigeria. We have the affective learning domain, we have the psychomotor learning domain, we have the cognitive learning domain. This is to tell us that indeed we have abandoned this effective learning domain, which actually addresses honesty, integrity, patience, contentment, and the likes. So now, because in our schools, we are all focused on the grades, which did not start now. It's not just starting now. It has been there. So these people who are actually in charge of the collection of loans on behalf of children, of students, also they have suffered from quality education, which affects.
Is that not great?
It's great.
Okay.
This is because they've not actually, developed the skill. They've not developed that personality.
Okay.
Where we know that, we teach children to be patient, be contented, and the likes. For you to be an adult is not a day's journey.
Sure.
These people, go and check them and check their antecedents, check their background.
Yeah.
You are going to be seeing that the traits, that red flag would have been there in their personality. And we are saying that for us to actually curb this in future, we must focus more on this early childhood education. Whatever it is that we want people to become as adults, we must consider the education from age 0 to age 10. Whatever we have actually formed our personality to be before we reach age 10, that is what we modify as adults. So these people didn't just learn how to be greedy, they didn't just learn how to steal today. They would have been doing this thing all along.
From childhood.
From childhood. So it is to tell us that even those people that we are putting in authority, they are actually a victim
of reflection of
our
society.
Yes, that is it. So we must look into, are we ready to change the narrative? If we must change the narrative, we must start with early childhood education. That we now have a plan as a nation. Say, in the next 10 years, the set of children who are going to be leaving primary school to secondary school, we have this kind of personality. We have this quality of individual traits that they are going to be portraying. So we can't just take this thing away from our society until we focus on this.
Thank you. The next one is FUOYE. That's Federal University of Oyekiti, Vice Chancellor. I call him controversial Vice Chancellor because sometimes he was accused of allegedly sexual harass one of the director in the Department of Engineering, Department of Works or something like that. And they set up panel today. And the news came up that he's going on 6-month leave, and the highest, I mean the most senior deputy vice chancellor is taking over his post in the next 6 months. Though it came online that some people said he was sacked, he was dismissed, but the school came up that he wasn't sacked, wasn't dismissed, on leave. What is your take?
My take is that for us to actually, talk about this matter, there is a lot of technicality involved, which I feel the school is here to actually bring out the report of those who investigated the matter.
Okay.
If the school has not come out to give us the report, we can't say whether the man was guilty of the allegation or not. So it is either they are trying to make it look like our organization has quality people, we have people of integrity, that is why they don't want to come out with the report. So as it is now, for him to go on a leave, I think it's better for everybody, because it's going to give that kind of okay, serene, confidence, yes, in
On the
people,
school,
yes, on the
per
school,
se.
knowing that okay, this person that has been alleged has been taken out of the system. Because parents with female students in the school will also have a doubt about it. But for
Of
him to,
integrity.
yes. So whether it is true or false, whether he is innocent or guilty, for him to be out of the
For
system,
now, let him go for 6 months.
yes, it's fine.
Next ones. JAMB one new institution against illegal admission. There are some new institutions that have been approved. About 75 or 76 were approved recently by federal government. Some were upgraded, like the tertiary university became a federal university, something like that. That most of these schools are engaging in admission racketeering. What is your take?
And my take is that
And they want them seriously.
yes, warning them will not be enough.
Okay.
Everybody complains about the standard of education in Nigeria, and I feel that if you don't want somebody to take something that doesn't belong to the person, especially when it comes to the government perspective now, we need to give them what they need.
Okay.
If you are asking schools to go and generate fund for themselves, what do you expect? So what is the percentage of budget that we are supposed to be allocating to education in Nigeria? We should start from that place.
Okay.
So the government should first take responsibility. Are we actually, giving out this fund that these schools require for them to actually run effectively? So if that is done, then what do we do in following up on how they actually put this money into use? So if government is saying don't do this, how do we fund the school? So I'm not giving excuses for the schools, because we are saying that they should be role models for students. So what I'm now saying is that government should rather hold the schools responsible if they find them guilty of what they don't want them to do.
Thank you. The last but not least, the list is LASUTECH, the one very close to us here in Ikorodu, fired 3 lecturers over sexual harassment, and the school management came up that no, these people were alleged, and this committee found them guilty. And they mentioned them. They said Mr. Nuruddin Azan of the Mass Communication Department, Karim Aregbebabu, and Yinka Usman from the Faculty of Art and Design. They were dismissed just like that. So the issue of sexual harassment in higher institution has it gone so bad?
And I think this is not new
Yes,
in our society. And
it has
then,
become recurrent
yes,
news on daily basis.
I love the fact that we are now taking the bulls by the horns now, because in this life we have decisions and consequences. Until we begin to allow people to face the consequence of their own decisions, we may not have a sane society. So if every institution will go in this route, it's better. Just like the FUOYE issue, they pull the person out, whether you are guilty or not.
Just go and
So
leave.
now, LASUSTECH is now, doing this. I think gradually Nigeria
give them
will,
kudos.
yes, Nigeria will get to where we are going to. Once you have decided to make a decision as an adult, either good or bad, be ready to face the consequences. That is, I think we are good
Nice
now.
one. The last but not the least is LAUTECH University, that's LADOKE Akitola University of Ogumasho, Oyo State, awarded first class, 94 first class. Is that too small, too much? But because mine is that about 11,528 were graduating out of 11,000, 94 first class. That percentage is too low. For me, it's too low. So why are they defending this student that they are what class? They said what class quoted by the vice chancellor, what class graduate, and they can compete globally. Is that though I know LAUTECH because there's this friend of mine. He's a professor of mechanical engineering from LADOKE Capital. He was acting vice chancellor of Osun State University, but now I think if not the provost, is the dean faculty of engineering. Osun State University, graduated first degree, second degree, and PhD from LAUTECH engineering. And these are brilliant people that I know. So LAUTECH is producing brilliant graduate. What is your take? Or did you graduate from LAUTECH?
Yeah, no, I didn't graduate from
Okay,
LAUTECH.
okay,
I did study in I think LASU,
okay,
then also financial learning.
okay,
So that was where I switched into education
okay,
fully.
okay.
Now, every institution in Nigeria
Yeah,
can produce as much first class as
yeah,
they can produce,
yes.
because there are factors that affect learning. If we can consider all these factors and address them, I believe that they can produce as much as possible. And let's take a look at the distractions that we have around us. Some students, or no, don't let me say some, a lot of students are sponsoring themselves in our
Sure.
institution. A lot of students who are not sponsoring themselves, their parents are not buoyant enough financially. So you see them doing one business or the other. That's where this distraction actually comes in. If you take hold of this distraction, a lot of students are capable of having first class, because I believe that it is what you are being taught that will be assessed on. So for them defending the number of first class that they have, I don't know why they have to do that. But as far as I'm concerned, every institution in Nigeria can produce as much first class as possible. If their parents can actually take care of the bills, then you have no business in not taking first class or upper the upper second class cadre. So for me, I think it's okay for them. They don't
Well,
need to defend it.
thank you, viewer. That is our guest for today, Mr. Victor. Like I said, educationalist, and we know every time we come on Monday, weekly trending educational news like this, we always come with educationalists and professionals in the field who can dissect on our news, current news. This is the current one. I know, Mr. Victor, when I invite you another time, you surely acknowledge our
By
invitation.
God's grace.
Yes. Yeah, I come to the end of today's trending educational news, week 16, 21st of April, 2025. Like I said, my guest will also be here another time, maybe week 17, 18, I don't know, but as much as he has agreed. Kindly subscribe to our station, Air TV Africa, on your YouTube. Also, make comment, share our videos. It's an educational news review on weekly basis. Thank you. I remember your regular host, Advice my name. Thank you. Bye for now.